Hello and what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AI Unfiltered. Now, before starting today's episode, I just wanted to know if you are liking this background right here, and just share your thoughts on it in the comment section. And if you haven't seen the previous video on how I decorated my walls in my room, do check that out. Now, without any delay, let's start this episode. I'm so unbelievably excited for today's episode because today is the day we are diving deep into the world of machine learning. We need to start this from the very basics. And the first question which arises is, why do we even want to learn machine learning? Like, why do we even want to help the machines learn? Because we as humans are perfectly capable of doing all the math and stuff, right? The answer to this question is very simple. Why work hard when you can work smart? Machine learning allows us to scale our efforts and handle massive amount of data within a fraction of seconds, and in a way that is simply impossible for a human to do it alone. For anyone who wants to follow along, I would like to give a shout out to this beautiful series on machine learning by Gates Measures. Now, heads up, the videos aren't perfectly sequenced, but it covers almost all the topics that I think are needed to learn machine learning. As we have discussed in our previous videos, machine learning is a technique that helps the machine to learn, predict, and classify data. For someone like me, a content creator, machine learning actually helps me to see people of which age group are most likely to see my videos. First of all, it is very important to understand that this is just a set of algorithms and nothing special. So let's break down these algorithms and see a broader region. These algorithms are mainly divided into two parts: regression and classification. Regression is something we use to deal with continuous values. Think of it like something that can be measured, like temperature, your height, or maybe the prices of petrol. It rises or lowers depending on the quantity of petrol you put in. Classification is used to deal with categorization or discrete data. This is when we need to sort things into buckets. For example, if we know that the liquid which is in front of us is either a part of petrol or diesel, we use classification for that. So let's stick with that petrol and diesel example. If we want to predict the price of petrol, that is, if it is going to rise or if it's going to fall, we use regression there. But if we want to categorize something, like is something a part of petrol or diesel, we use classification for that. In this video, we will be mainly focusing on the part of regression. There are two main types of regression: linear regression and logistic regression. Let's start with linear regression. Linear regression is nothing but plotting a line graph in 2D and trying to get the best fit line that can actually separate two different kinds of data. We can represent this relationship with a classic equation, that is y equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Now, with large amount of data, we cannot just draw a line by hand. But here's the question which I had and which I think that you might also have. We just considered using a straight line to categorize data. But what if the data isn't linear? What if we can't categorize data with just a single line? What if we needed to separate them with a circle or something even more complex? This leads us to our next topic. The next algorithm is called logistic regression. It's called regression, but it is used for classification, which kind of looks like an irony. It helps us to check if something lies in one category or another, just like our petrol or diesel example. It does this by using a special function called a sigmoid function. This function takes all the data and outputs a value between 0 and 1. The rule is simple. If the value is greater than 0.5, it is considered correct or true, while if it is lower than 0.5, it is considered as incorrect or false. And that was just the start of this awesome course on machine learning. From the lectures I saw, I also learned about the real-life applications where we can actually apply our knowledge of machine learning, which I will be sharing with you in our next video. This was it from my side for today. Meet you all in the next video. Till then, goodbye.